All right, guys. Are you ready? Super rare truck. Never had one. I'll tell you the reasons why that's important to me, and the reasons why these are very hard to find if you're looking for one. Are you ready? Right there. Chevy. Typically all my other vehicles are GMCs, right? Okay. All right, yeah, Chevy GMC is the same thing. I get it. Okay, how about this? Regular cab. Okay. That's not that unique. I've had other regular cabs. I get that. Okay. All right. 3500, not a 2500 HD. Okay. 2500 HD and 3500 is pretty much the exact same truck. I think it's a 200-pound difference in the rear axle. Okay, so why is this special? The reason this is special, for a couple of reasons, but the main reason, and the reason that I'm making this video, and this is not a one of a kind, but I'm going to say it's probably 1 in 5,000, and probably not many left on the road today in this exact configuration. And what that is we've got a plow prep package, we've got our camper package, okay? It's not the work truck package, it's the LS model, okay, which this has, besides this little hole, well, big hole in the seat, let's ignore that, which we replaced the cushion, and this, we can get new fabric for this. This whole piece you can pull right off and replace this lower pad. The rest of the interior is literally like brand new. We've got air conditioning. Like I said, we've got our plow prep package. Comes with a factory CD player. It's got the little overhead console, which is very rare in a single cab, I think. So it's a little bit of the upgraded stereo. We've also got power windows, power locks, power mirrors, flip down center console, and leather wrapped steering wheel, and the touch four-wheel drive. I agree, I like the manual shifter four-wheel drive better. If I had my preference, I would do away with this and go with the manual shifter. Also, it has the computerized rear mirror, and it has rear defrost on a single cab, which is kind of strange. The biggest thing to me is not that, but that is notable. That is nice. There's also still rockers and cab corners left on this truck. Granted, barely. They're rusty. This truck does have some rust. It's got some rust. It's going to need some treatment. It's going to need the KLC take off the bed and descale the whole frame, and we'll do all that. I've made you wait long enough. Usually in these single cab trucks, any of these you find for sale are going to be 6-liter. This one is not a 6-liter. You say, oh, okay, cool. Yep, so it's a Duramax, right? Yep. I've seen a bunch of those too. Usually not in single cab. You do see a lot in single cab, but still kind of rare. Nope. Not a Duramax. What we have is the big block Vortec 8100. And they did put this motor in some of the Avalanches and the Suburbans, but they put the 4L80 or 4L85, whatever it is, transmission, the 4-speed automatic. This one has the Allison transmission, which in this year The only way you get the Allison transmission is if you got the Duramax or you got the 8.1. You couldn't get the Allison transmission. It's a 5-speed Allison, not a 6-speed Allison. You could not get that with the 6-liter gas motor. So we've got a 2004, which is the later version with the newer style lights. It also has the better crank sensor, I believe, or the cam sensor. I think it's the crank sensor they had an issue with in the first 2 years of the 8100s. These are very strong bulletproof motors. This one's got 169 or 170,000 miles on it. I believe that's what it was. And the Allison transmission, 8.1 liter. Plow prep package in a single cab. That's the weirdness. I have seen quite a few with the 8.1 and the Allison transmission. They made a lot of them, but they're usually dual rear wheel 1-tons, not single rear wheel 1-tons, or they're extended cab, or their crew cab, or their cab and chassis. They made a lot like that. But this is the first I've seen. The interesting part about this is I bought a 2500 HD GMC in the same year, 2004, with the 6-liter gas. And the options that I wanted, I just wanted air conditioning and the power windows. The one that they had on the lot had air conditioning but didn't have power windows. This one has both of those options. And I wanted to get the Duramax, but the Duramax was, I think it was like $7,000 more at the time. It was only my second new vehicle purchase. I wasn't going to put that money down. I didn't even really know too much about diesels at the time, which I still don't know much about diesels, but I opted for the 6-liter, but I wanted the bigger motor. I wanted the 8.1. And the truck, the new truck that I test drove before the one that I ended up buying had the 8.1 in it, and I fell in love with driving it. The torque, the instant just touching the throttle, and it took off. It just, for pulling trailers, you know, pushing snow, anything, it's really good. And the transmission being a 5-speed, having that one extra gear really makes a big difference as far as the smoother acceleration and less herky-jerky forward and backward when it shifts and whatnot. But the one that I drove was a extended cab, or there was something else, you know, it was like a fully loaded one with the leather interior and all that. You know, something that was 10,000, 12,000 more than the one that I was buying. But that was the one that I test drove. And I said to the salesman, I'm like, I wish I had this same one that I'm buying, the one that I put the picture up here, with the 8.1. And he said, no, that's a very rare combination. And ever since then, I've yet to see one. And I actually went to buy this truck, which, by the way, I have sold the white crew cab that I just had on the channel that I just did all the work in. We welded in the gas cross member and we put it all together, and I did the final video on. I have sold that one, bought this for half of what I sold that one for. And that truck I only paid $1,800 for at the start. So it's kind of funny. Basically, this truck is free. It's actually still made money on top of it, but the bottom line was this pretty much would have been the truck I would have chose if it was on the lot. And I also wanted a Chevy. I got a GMC. I had to go to a GMC dealer because I wanted one in white. I would not have chose this color, but now that I've already had white, this is my second option. I do like this color as well. It stays fairly clean and it looks fairly decent, especially once it starts to rust a little bit. It hides the rust and the rust stains a little better than white. White, as soon as you have a little bit of brown rust, it shows out like a sore thumb. So this is a good all-around color, kind of plain Jane, and it's also fairly similar to the motorcycle, and the enclosed trailer that I have for that is a silver color as well. So this combination together will be a great little tow package. Obviously, I'll do some work with this as well, pulling the dump trailer and snow plowing. So that was the other thing that's also rare about this. This has the snowplow prep package. We've got the really good motor to plow with. It's a 1-ton dual rear wheel, which is really good. Again, single cab, because your turning radius is way better when you're plowing with a single cab. Anybody that plows knows this. There is a good amount of rust. This truck I got very inexpensive, but another good thing about it is it has the steel wheels. I like those better than the aluminum wheels when we get to the older trucks, because the aluminum wheels, once they start clear coat peeling, you have to have them completely refurbished to have them to look good. Other than that, you paint them black or whatever. Steel wheels, you can sand them down and repaint them the silver, and they look like new. And you can keep the rust off them and keep them looking good. I also like the white letter tires. I've always kind of liked that sporty look, so we're good with that. And it's got brand new tires all the way around as well. So that was another huge plus. But it does have its share of problems, so we'll go with the negatives. For starters, it has a gas leak. The sending unit on top of the tank, which is very common, that we just did in the last truck, is leaking. So that's the first thing I need to do before I can actually make this drivable. The brake system needs to be gone through. It's done a little sitting. All the calipers and rotors and stuff are rusty. We're going to have to clear them all up, replace as necessary. Going to put some new lines in it, and we're going to coat the frame with a nice fluid film like I do with most of the trucks. And yeah, we've got this to deal with. However, conveniently enough, in the back of this truck when I picked it up was that. This is the exact right color, the exact fender, even the matching fender flare, almost perfect shape. Does have a little rust up on the lip under the fender flare, which we'll treat and deal with, but certainly not as bad as this. And this actually, it does have the fender flare in the back, and it actually does cover the majority of this, and it actually wouldn't even be that bad. But we're going to get rid of anything that's brown and rusty. We need to get rid of as much of it as we can to stop it from getting any worse. So we got a fender to change. We're going to pull the bed off. We're going to clean it all up. Like I said, everything that I just mentioned. But this side is also clean as well. This rocker and cab corner is a little worse than the other one. This one is rotted on the bottom and does need to be replaced. You can see it down there. The other one is probably going to need to be replaced as well. But it looks good for now, so we'll do this one first, and that'll be like last on the list. Even this cab corner, yeah, you can see it's rotted right through. Once you see the rot on the outside, it's probably rotted about the size of my fist under here in the back side that you can't see. But this interior sold me. Well, obviously the motor sold me too, but the headliner is literally in perfect condition. I just, you know, for 160, 170,000 miles, it's got the tilt steering wheel, AC. We've already got the trailer brake controller. What a find. Definitely a keeper here. This is a rare bird and is going to be a really nice, strong, tough truck for some time to come. So this one's going to be a big price tag if I sell it once it's all done. So it's either somebody's going to fork up a good amount of money because they know how rare it is and they need it for a specific reason, or I'm just going to be keeping it for a good long time. It's got the nice heavy duty hitch on the back. Rear bumper could be replaced. It's not horrible right now. Got a couple little dings and dents to deal with. The tailgate does work and function. That's a pretty nice big spider right there. And it's got a factory bed liner with a whole bunch of crap in it. But I have been all underneath. It's all got scaly, flaky rust. Very little that's actually rotted through, if any. There's maybe one small cross member that's starting to rot through. So spending a good day or two and getting all that scaly rust off and treating it will prolong the life of this truck for many, many years to come. So, yep, here she is. It looks like your average everyday pickup that you see 100 of on the streets. And if you didn't know any better, you wouldn't know that that's actually a super rare combination. I actually looked on Marketplace and Craigslist and eBay in all of the United States, and I did not find one other of these for sale. I've seen some parts ones, I think. I thought I saw one or two parts ones, but I did not see one of these still on the road running and driving, which is kind of crazy. That's how little they made of them. So, but yeah, that's my my new find, and thanks for watching and following me along with this wonderful journey of buying pieces of junk and making them a little better than pieces of junk. Have a good one, guys.